All right, welcome back for second feature match this week here for Planechase League. We've got Maranda or Black Canary. I'm going to be watching her stream, and she's facing off against Michael M. Adam Baum, who Justin's going to look at it from his perspective, and he's actually on his elimination match, so he's at 10 losses here, looking to stay alive in week four. So he's playing, or she's playing a appears to be swamps. So black deck, but looks like got cards of a couple different colors in there. And I think Michael was running a green deck the last I saw him, so I don't know if he's still running with that. But what's his hand looking like over there?
Yeah, he has green and white cards in his hand. Uh, the green cards being a Guardian Gladewalker with a Strength of the Coalition,
Okay.
it's a green pump spell with Kicker of white, and his white cards are Rafine's Informant and Shepherd of the Cosmos. So looking to be more base two colors, despite Forest being the uh, primary one.
Yeah, Rafine's Informant is definitely not a card I would say I would be splashing. Or if I was running like five white cards, I don't think it would be high on my list. So it looks like he has enough fixing to just be mostly two colors. Like I've seen a couple decks like this. I played against somebody yesterday who had like Glittering Frost and Gift of Paradise and a couple of mana dorks that tapped for any color. So just making it work out here, hopefully.
But yeah, just realistically, just because the three planes we visited had all dual lands at common in each pack, so there's a lot more freedom because of the prior three planes that we've been to.
Yeah, well, not all of them had a guaranteed dual land in each pack. I know for Call Time it was a dual land or a snow land, but yeah, there was
Yeah,
lots of fixing available, and even in the base sets that we started with, there was a bunch of fixing. Yeah, so we see the Rafine's Informant here discarding the Glade Walker and just making a 4/3 to rumble with this Grim Draugr. So no snowlands here, but we see base black obviously with the swamps this
yeah.
week. But Miranda has a deep freeze in her hand and a ready to rumble. So looks like branched out for some versions of removal here. Also in her hand there's a swamp and Death Knell Berserker. So not
Okay.
not too much fancy stuff going on here. Death Knell Berserker is gonna hit the battlefield. And then there's a deep freeze and a ready to rumble for anything considered a threat. And, green's going to have some big creatures. So, once those start coming down, there's answers. This looks like a pretty straightforward trade here, unless Michael's got a trick.
Well, he does have the Strength of Coalition.
Okay.
He may use it, but he also has the Shepherd of Cosmos that can back the two drop.
Yeah, I mean, just getting a counter on your creature and winning combat is like not that exciting. I mean, you
Yeah,
could cast it for one. Okay, here's a Sculptor of Winter with some snowlands. So unless you have dual lands, the Sculptor of Winter basically, taps to add a green a lot of the time, which
yeah.
you were using it for other purposes in call time with all of your duels and whatnot. It just fixed you for whatever colors you need here. It's more of a ramp than true fixing, particularly because any non-forest snowlands are going to be those duels or a Shimmer Drift Veil.
Yeah, it's funny how in this plane, particularly of Eldraine, it nerfs the snow capabilities of Call Time just because like the free stone lands we got in that week, you can't play all of them because you can only play one basic land type, as you know. So there's just a lot less density of snow lands in your deck just for that fact, and it makes snow cards considerably less powerful
Oh
than
yeah,
they would be otherwise.
yeah. Two of the cards I was leading heavy on that were doing work for me was Ascendant Spirit and the Hailstorm Valkyrie. And Ascendant Spirit's not in my deck because I'm playing black this week. But even the Hailstorm Valkyrie, I said with 7 snowlands out of 25, that's not enough actually for that card. So I decided to not play it. But here's a Campus Guide. Definitely does not want the land here. So just a 2/1. But a nice little, again, these things that search up a basic land, not so great this week, right? Anything that says go get a basic land is not that helpful. The Campus
Yeah.
Guide is still playable. You can always cast it onto, if you do need to hit your land drops, it's there. But like the fixing aspect of it, which is, probably the most appealing thing out of all the things that it offers, is not there right now. So it looks like some foretelling here. So what's coming down the pipe there?
Yeah, he's foretold the Shepherd of the Cosmos that I mentioned
Yeah,
before. We'll be able to play that and get back either his Guardian Glade Walker or Fiend's Informant for free.
yeah, getting
And the
back
other
to
card is struggle.
fiends.
Yeah, and the other card is Struggle for Skemvar. So he's well equipped with some pretty above average cards here to get ready to get an advantage and start winning the game.
All right, and Miranda's drawn Doomfall. So let's see if she decides she wants to get rid of this 3/3 or take a look at the hand there at whatever spells left over.
Yeah,
All
if
right.
she chooses to jump all the hand, they'll get that last card, which is Strength of the Coalition.
Yeah, I was just gonna go for the removal here. Hit for 4.
Yeah,
Like
seems good.
pretty straightforward decision there. There could be something scary in hand, but there's a deep freeze and a ready to rumble that can neuter most things. All right, so Shepherd of the
Uh,
Cosmos gonna get some nice value here. Here comes our Fiend's Informant. Yeah. So
But this is where like you notice you said before time and time again that rule less good now because the 2-for-1 creatures. Well, how about Shepherd of the Cosmos? It's kind of just like the best one of the better 2-for-1s out there.
yeah, like a lot of these recent draft formats, like Neon Dynasty coming to mind, or even like Streets of New Capenna, where one for one removal just wasn't where it was at. Like you still needed to play a couple, but like just the creatures were so valuable, even in DMU too, Dominaria United. I still think in League you do need removal. Like
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
everybody has access to really good cards. Like everybody has some number of really strong rares. Particularly, once you're at 10 losses, you're like Michael has. He's got, his pool is at its largest that it's going to be, which means he has access to the most cards. Yeah, so he looks like he looted away the Deathbloom Gardener. He's got his colors online here, so doesn't need that. And he's going
Yeah,
to go on the offensive now, or maybe not.
yeah. I guess he'll just trade off this Shepherd of the Cosmos for the Midnight Assassin.
Yeah, it got its value. The Midnight Assassin is going to be annoying, particularly for a green deck to fight through, right? If he has
Yeah,
big green creatures, he doesn't, he wants to get that obstacle out of the way.
but now he's gonna keep the value going here. He's gonna cast once in future and probably get back the Shepherd of the Cosmos here.
Oh yeah, Once in Future is a really good one. Yes, I mean returns 2 cards, but it could be at any 2 cards.
Right, because these days, green tends to only get return target permanent as opposed to
Yeah,
card.
yeah, we see that most of the time. I mean, the Once in Future does go into exile, so you're not looping them. I think it's
Yes,
designed that way. So yeah, another removal off the top here with Murder. So once she might just say, let's get in 4 damage and get rid of this Seraphim's Informant, because I have 2 more removals coming down the pipe for whatever's there. So may decide to use that removal here just to get in damage.
it just feels like because the opponent got back Shepherd of the Cosmos, so if
Yep.
you're killing it, it's just gonna come back into play next turn. And I do agree with your assessment. I think Maranda needs to start killing Michael just because she only has removal spells and no other creatures to develop her board.
Yeah, she has no threats here, so she needs to turn her current creatures into threats, and the only way to do that is by, making sure opponent doesn't have blockers. Yeah, so there's a Deathbloom Gardener also. Just can step in front of anything, and now can attack pretty happily here. Hmm.
Like she's trying to consider the double block here.
She's thinking about a double block here. Which again, with that Shepherd of the Cosmos as a known card, is pretty unappealing. You don't want the Shepherd of Cosmos to get back a Rafine's Informant and get another Connive on.
Yeah, this is all things considered, this is a 2-drop that's a fourth that's gone to be a 4/3. Mostly by its own capability, but the Gold Fame pick was like first of the many artifacts that kind of turned the view on how equipment was bad in draft normally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Gold Vein Pick is like a flat out great card. It just fit well into the call time format. Um, like I had it in Brothers War League actually when I took it back at call time, and it was just okay. It wasn't a standout at all, I would say. It's
At
now that
least
yeah.
at least Wizards takes into account that equipment needs to be playable for like limited purposes. And they kind of up the power level, and Gold Fame pick is just a good example of it.
Yeah, they've tried so hard. Like I remember in Zendikar Rising, they all of the equipment came in attached to a creature automatically, but the equip
Yeah.
costs were so high that nobody played any of them, except for the rare, the Mall of the Sky claims. But like the rest of those, they were all forgettable, and it was a cool concept that you get a free equip up front, but they were so inefficient. And now even with the upcoming set, all will be one where we're getting this new take on equipment where you get tutus attached to them. So they have been trying to make equipment better, but Gold Pick I think struck a nice balance there. Yeah, so she does use one of her removals on the Jewel Thief here, not wanting to take more damage. But here we go again with the Rafine's Informant. This is the greatest Rafine's Informant I've ever seen.
Maybe the reason to be splashed so that I can be gone back with the Shepherd of the Cosmos. Just a
Yeah.
nice combo there with the loot.
Well, if the thing is with the green decks, with the people who are choosing to play green, they just as long as you have the fixing, like when you have things that tap for any color or they turn your lands into lands that tap for any color, your options just go up. I mean, you're not playing like a straight two color deck, but just your options are just increased.
Yeah.
Like I know with the mono black deck, I couldn't I couldn't play Rafine's Informant in my black deck or like a similar two drop of any other color really. Right, so Murder is coming down for the Shepherd. Doesn't doesn't want to deal with that. So yeah, her life total is still still pretty good here, but now drawing only drawing Ready to Rumble and only another Swamp. Um, you know, this Prismari campus is gonna have to get to work here. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
and Prismari Campus, especially in this week particularly, because I feel like the games this week are gonna be more grindy just because people don't have access to the most powerful cards in their cube, or I'll have a hard time to get access to those cards. So the campuses, which are just colorless abilities and dual lands, like even if they don't fit like your main color, you can still play them. It's just a scry land, and it will find you gas eventually. It's just expensive for it.
well, here's something that's worthy of a removal spell. I would say the Freelance Muscle, which can get quite large.
It's on attacks or blocks that it gets pumped for the highest
Yeah,
power.
yeah, it's on blocks as well.
But she
Yeah,
has the answer right. Ready to Rumble does deal enough damage to kill off this muscle.
you're not sure
Uh,
exactly why he chose to re-equip before attacking, but it's the same amount of damage either way. I guess technically it makes the freelance muscle bigger on blocks, I suppose.
it's true.
Um, yeah, so Miranda's got a nice one here. Shakedown heavy. It's gonna be nice, but first it needs to dispose of this rhino.
Here comes the strength of the coalition to put a wrench in that.
Yeah, so with the treasures there, that can be kicked. And now actually, this game is done because
Yeah, it's
she
you
has no
you got
other
a
play
five
here.
five.
Yeah, so this was quite the blowout here. Not just saving the creature, but just pumping up all the rest of the creatures. Yeah, so looking at her deck, uh, yeah, blue and red are here for removals. There's a Wormhole Serpent, which is that blue card that can give stuff unblockable. I like her way of thinking. I'm also playing that as one of my few blue cards in my deck, just because it's a way to finish the game. And up
Yep.
top, there's two Dusk Manglers here. So if you can get up to that point, that thing's going to do some work.
Yeah, finally getting a deeper look into Michael's deck. He's playing obviously the primary color is green, but he has a couple of red cards in there.
Yeah, well, I saw the red fixing on his lands there. So
Oh,
yeah.
I thought he may have just been playing possibly could have just been playing Rugged Highlands as a tap land that gives him a life, which
Oh, okay.
could still be fine.
Yeah, so Miranda's got a few red cards, a few blue cards, a couple of those fixers from New Capenna, the common three color cards, Glamorous Outlaw
I
and a Shattered Seraph to fix,
I love the Glamorous Outlaw, especially in 2HG.
and a
Just
couple yeah, a couple of interesting rares here. Bontu's Last Reckoning, that's one you don't see all the time, and a Volcanic Salvo up top, which does cost double red, but deals 6 damage to two different creatures.
Yeah, the Bantu's Last Reckoning. Very unique card for black because black technically typically doesn't have a straight up board wipe at its disposal.
Yeah, once in a
And
while, but
yeah, But yeah, I've seen this Bantu's Last Reckoning get people because they just don't expect black to have this sort of card.
Yeah, not for 3 mana for sure. Like usually we're looking at
Yeah.
5, or Blood on the Snow is 6. Black does get board wipes every so often, not as often as white, but yeah, that one's a very very interesting one.
And even sometimes black also just gets situational multi removal.
Yeah,
Such as like Witch's Vengeance from Eldraine,
yeah, she's got a lot
or
of
like
dual lands here
Extinction Event.
to make this work. Even playing a base camp, I don't know how many party members she's got, but I guess
Oh, it only
it taps
makes
for
mana for
any
only
color
party.
to add a party for party members.
Okay,
Glamorous Outlaws is a rogue, I do believe, but I don't know off the top how many of them fit that description. This looks like a mulligan here. We got an Urborg repossession, which is nice, but unfortunately 6 lands. Yeah, she's going to keep this hand as Dune Beetle, Deathbloom, Thallid, and the rest are lands. So it's going to be
okay.
4 lands now after putting a swamp on the bottom. What's
She'll be able to defend
Michael's
herself
options
though.
looking like?
Michael, he has drawn all his colored sources of mana.
Okay.
He has white, red, and green in his hand. He has Sculptor of Winter, Broken Wings, Struggle of Skemfar, and then a very powerful spell in Showdown of the Skulls.
Oh, that's a good one. That that's definitely good. Yeah.
It's definitely worth double slashing here.
So
That's
here
for
comes
sure.
a Dune Beetle, a little 1/4 here, very unassuming creature, but keeps you alive, blocks. Like we saw in the earlier match. It's sort of it fulfills a lot of the same purposes as a wall. So
This Doom Beetle is getting
interestingly,
frisky.
actually, Miranda drew a Spike Field Hazard for turn, and I think she would have snapped that off if he blocked rather than playing a Deathbloom Thallid. Bolt the bird, as they say.
Okay. Well, he's thinking of foretelling Struggle for Skemfar playing Deathbloom Gardener. Unbeknownst to him, this Deathbloom Gardener is gonna fall into a spike field trap,
Yeah.
essentially.
So the rest of her hand, unfortunately, is just land. So she's going to need to draw out of this. She does have the tramway station to use that at one point, but
Does she have another red source?
yeah, there's a
Okay.
Sacred Peaks in hand. So she's just playing like all of her dual lands, even though they don't all do that much. Like Tranquil Cove, I think the white she had a Shattered Seraph, like the Esper fixer. I think that was the only card that made use of white, but. When you're playing 16 basic swamps, you can afford to throw in some of these dual lands that may not be that useful. All right, here's a 5/5, which no way to deal with just lands here. Another land coming off the top.
This fungus wizard,
Yeah,
I think what it is.
he's quite big.
Yeah, I remember usually 5/5 for 5, like gain a life for every instant sorcery you cast. Like it's usually like, kind of filler. But then I remember in Strixhaven this card was actually quite good just because it was big.
Yeah, it's the biggest creature I got. I
Yeah.
have
And the
access
life
to
game
with my
and the
mono
life game was
black deck.
just yeah, the life game was just relevant because of how quick Silver Quill was in that format.
Yes, this is going down. This is going down south here. I guess out of respect, he's not attacking her just because she has so much open mana. He doesn't want to lose his 5/5, which looks to be his only threat right now. But this Sunset Pyramid's gonna draw some cards here. Nice little card draw source. Nice little uncommon here. Was very good
He's
back in its day since Tower Devastation was a very slow format, so you had time to get value from that. Like if they put that card in Amonkhet, forget it.
Yeah, it's basically unplayable in Amonkhet.
Here's
Just
Showdown
just
from
by
the
the nature of how
Scalds,
strong it was.
which is going to find him more gas. This is very frustrating here for Miranda with only lands. So he's going to get to see 4 cards here, including is that a Tolst? No, Maja, Once and Future, Elven Bow. This is going to get out of hand very quickly here.
I mean, the good news here is that you can't once in future has to be cast next turn or you lose it, so it can't be
Yeah.
used to just get back Showdown of the Scalds because that would be
No, no, he
ridiculous.
can't quite do that. But
Yeah, can't make the
You could
cake and
just
eat
play
it
the
too.
Manja and just completely take over the board.
Maja is, I believe, an anthem that also gives you a 1/1 soldier whenever you cast a creature spell.
Whenever you play a land, you get a 1/1.
Oh, okay, but
So
currently can't cast it. Doesn't have
has
double weight.
it has landfall effectively. Well, that is true. He's without the white. Yeah. Okay. So looks like he might just actually once a future has no target. So
Yeah.
maybe this maybe the Shadow of the Skulls is a little more fair than it's gonna seem if you can't cast either of those cards effectively. But Miranda's drawn some bodies now, starting here with a 4/5 reach, and then not sure what the appeal was to play that over a 5/5 Death Touch that she has in her hand, but
Well,
both are going to come into play over the next couple turns here.
this wrecking crew is looking to get either struggle for Scampard or going to be killed in battle with because of the strength of the coalition being held.
Oh, another strength of the coalition, and also now he gets to start putting counters around with any spell.
Yeah. Oh, he also has bounded gold, so that could also just block have the wrecking crew get pinned down.
Yeah, I mean, if he knew that Miranda had a Death Touch creature in hand, he would fight this one and then bounding gold the Death Touch. But
Yeah.
we'll see how he decides to proceed here.
Oh, he's just going for the struggle.
All
So
right, so without knowing it, very very heads up play here. You could
yeah, I
also just
think
put a counter. Yeah, you could put a counter on one of the other creatures too, just to make it harder to fight against.
okay, so he's just gonna play both.
Yeah, makes sense. Get in the pressure here. Gets to attack for looks like 9. Oh well, the 3/4 can't get through, but
No,
yeah,
6.
maybe if that was his plan, he could have put both the counters on the elf, so it can attack through the beetle if he knew that this was what he wanted to do.
Yeah, but now he's kind of like he has a strength of the coalition, but he also has a broken wings that doesn't do very much at the moment. So he needs to
Yeah,
find more things to do, but he does have a sense of pyramid
yeah,
to help him do
he is
that.
gonna have to. He is unless he finds another removal, he is gonna have to either stop attacking or give up his 6/6 for the Death Toucher here. Yeah.
Okay, so he's
Miranda's
found
draw for
Fiend's
the
Informant.
turn was not particularly useful. It's the Crooked Custodian. It's the 2 mana 3/2 that enters tapped. So not exactly what you want at this point in the game.
So he's gonna main phase kick the strength of the coalition.
Okay. Huh.
Well, that is definitely a big 6/7.
Okay. Do we know why the main phase?
Uh, not. I'm not sure exactly the thought process. I guess we'll see later on.
I guess this doesn't change the blocks that much, but yeah, just gonna soak up 6 damage here.
I was just gonna use the Sunset Pyramids draw
Yeah,
card.
well, if Miranda doesn't draw anything, this is in the in the realm of lethal looking here at 10 life. You got a 5/5 and a 4/5 with the right. So not strictly lethal, but drawing another land and having a creature that comes into play tapped in her hand, she's going to concede. And congratulations to Michael staying alive here in week 4, and we'll be back a little later with our last feature match of the night.